Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Matt and Ari playlist, where you see the world with Matt and I. So in today's video, I want to tell you about my Great British Beerfest experience. It was held in, I believe it was the Olympia in London, which is sort of like, I don't want to say a repurposed stadium, but almost like just sort of a very large auditorium. So basically, what the Great British Beerfest does, and if I'm not mistaken, the Beerfest itself moves around. So depending on where you are located, it may be called by some other name. But the Beerfest's primary goal is basically to allow beer manufacturers to come out and display the different beers that they manufacture. So everybody sort of like gets a stall, and there are like a number of taps set up, and you, depending on your ticket type, because they do sell different types of tickets, you get a certain number of beers free with your ticket. So yeah, you just sort of turn in a chit and you get a a glass of beer, and there are tables laid out there's so that you can also have something to eat. I had a kebab, if I'm not mistaken. There are a number of different types of food that you can actually have, very light refreshment type things. I'm not sure if they have like full meals, but you definitely would find chicken, chips, what we call fries in North America. Um, you know, that kind of lighter, almost fast food type of meal. And you just sort of walk around, you explore the live entertainment, and so Matthew has his own favorites. Unfortunately, I am not a bear enthusiast myself. I believe that bear definitely has a place. If I go to, like, let's say a party, or if I go to the beach, or if I go to a sporting event, you would kind of find me holding a cup or glass of beer. But Matthew, on the other hand, sometimes he would have a glass of beer instead of a glass of water with his lunch, I'll be honest. So he really wanted me not only to meet his friends, which I did, and they were lovely and I had a great time, but also to sort of get a taste of, I guess, British cuisine and culture. I think beer, if you look back historically, beer has always been a very big part of just sort of day-to-day life in the global north. We do know that at certain points in history, I believe it was the feudal era, to correct me if I'm wrong, because we didn't have Brita water filters and all that back then. People actually used to drink beer because it was clean and it could be stored for a long time, if I'm not mistaken. So he really wanted me to experience the different kinds of beer. I'm not sure that all of the beers were local, but in 2022, when I went, was Arkell's, Bishop Nick, Black Storm, Bradfield Brewery, Siren Craft Brew, Harvey's Brewery, Iron Pear Bear, Titanic Brewery, and Bedlam Bear. So, being, I guess, sort of an outsider, I gravitated immediately to the Titanic Brewery. I really did. And I was sort of asking, well, why is it even called the Titanic Brewery? And after doing a bit of research, I found that two brothers started it in the 1980s, and it was named the Titanic Brewery in honor of Edward Smith, the captain on the actual Titanic, who came from Stoke-on-Trent, where the two brothers were from and the brewery was based. So it was really a very light and refreshing beer. I had two beers when I was there. I had the plum porter, which is 4.9%, I believe, alcohol content. And I also had a Titanic stout, which I remember in particular and was one of my favorites, which is about 4.5% alcohol. So for whatever reason, I just love stouts. I had a stout somewhere else recently. Could have been at One Woodbrook. I can't really remember, but I really enjoyed it. I think that's a more malty kind of one. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I really enjoyed the beer, and I had to get there early. Matthew has little to no patience with being late in general, but you know, he told me from the beginning if I wanted the more popular ones, which would be more for people like me who don't know anything about beer and would just gravitate to the most obvious sounding places. I should have gone to, you know, we had to get there early and I had to wait in a decent line to actually try this beer. And by the end of the Beerfest, they had actually run out several times of this beer. So, you know, definitely check it out if you ever have a chance. I would definitely recommend this stout in particular. So I guess moving on a little bit more to the, I don't want to say the cultural elements of Beerfest, but well, you know, I kind of went in a little bit to the history of beer in Europe and why it's so popular and why today it, you know, tends to be a staple of Europe, northwestern European culture. So I don't say the point of going to Beerfest, but a huge component is going there and buying a ridiculous hat, right? It's supposed to sort of be an ironic hat in a lot of ways. So Mr. Matthew did go and buy me this hat, and I was told that on other occasions there were duck hats. He has a duck hat. There may have been a danger cone type hat or whatever. Yeah, so he has a couple hats from these Beerfests that he goes to every single year with his friends. And he likes to sort of, I think, so if I'm not mistaken, the typical beer mug that you would imagine is called a Stein, right? I believe that means stone in German. I'm not sure if it's sort of a homophone, but he referred to it as a well, not a Stein. I know it's pronounced Stein, but he calls it a Stein, right? So he has a couple of these at home, and he definitely got another one. And he does have sort of a almost horn-shaped kind of one, which I believe is sort of supposed to symbolize the Viking era, because we do know that the Vikings place a certain amount of significance on mead. Mead halls were the center of Viking life, so it would sort of make sense. I did Beowulf as undergraduate level. Please make all the jokes you want in the comment section. But yeah, we had a great time with friends. I definitely enjoy the company and the atmosphere. But, you know, I'm not like like I would go more so for a cocktail or a rosé kind of person than this beer thing that Matthew loves so much. Um, so please do enjoy our goofy pictures, including the goofy hat that he did buy for me. Okay, unfortunately, that did not make it into my suitcase and is now happily, safely kept in Matthew's apartment. Nothing against the hat, but that is not coming with me to the beach, even if the bear is. Alright, so that's it for me, and I will see you guys in the next one.